Hello, everyone, and welcome to Paula's Soapbox Live. My guest today is a talented singer-songwriter with a haunting voice. Her latest album is called Ride of Life. She has a new single called Trespassing, and she just came out with a video for her single Last One. So let's try to take a look at that.
And I thought you were more than just meets the eye, but all I keep seeing are lies. You say that you love me, but I don't feel a thing. You tell me that you hold the key. You try to control me, you push and you pull, as I fall down to my knees.
Please welcome to the show, McKail Seely.
Hello.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on, despite the technical difficulties we had at the beginning, but everything's supposed to be good now, so.
It's all good. It's all good. Thank you so much, Paula, for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is a beautiful video, by the way. So where did you shoot it?
We shot in a few different locations. The main location that was what I was envisioning and what the production team was envisioning was an old kind of vintage inspired place. And I knew of a hotel that I used to go to and that I go to actually quite often. It's called the Biltmore Millennium Hotel. Back in the 30s, they used to do the Oscars there and all that, and it's just this beautiful hotel in the middle of downtown Los Angeles. So that was the main, those are the scenes where I'm dancing with a vintage gown. That's where I'm at. We also shot in an old motel room in East Hollywood, and then a Viewpoint up in West Hollywood that I go to often. So yeah, so 3 different locations, and it was a lot of fun to shoot. So.
Yeah, it looked like a fun video to shoot. So is it true that one of the motels that you went to, some of the employees thought that you were there to maybe shoot an adult film or something?
Yes. We showed up and you know, not really thinking, we just had one thing on our mind, and that was to get some good shots of me, you know, in the hotel room, as you can see from the video. It didn't really cross our minds that it looked a little weird
sketchy
showing up with the production team, which was essentially 2 of my male friends and then myself. So showing up there asking for a one bed and in the wee hours of the night, a little bit like a
little bit suspect, probably.
Yeah. So, and he was, yeah, you could tell he was a little concerned about that, but
yeah,
we made it work.
It's a good story, though. I mean, you know.
It's funny. It definitely put a smile on our faces, and we kind of cracked up afterwards. So,
right. Well, you've been in LA for what, like 4 years now, pursuing your music career.
Yep.
So, what made you decide to move to Los Angeles as opposed to like New York or even Nashville?
Yeah. So, you know, it's funny because I checked out Nashville. I was planning on attending Belmont University in Nashville. Went to Nashville, explored the town and got to know some of the people a little bit and performed at Bluebird and all that, and got to have this sort of Nashville experience, and I loved it so much, but it didn't feel big enough for me, and I really wanted to go to a city that was, you know, filled with opportunity and just sort of sky's the limit. So
yeah. We lost her. We will get her back in a second. Let's see what happens. Might be an internet thing. McKail, can you still hear me? I guess our technical difficulties are not quite over yet. Stand by. She should be logging back in any second. going to try to get her back, make sure she knows that she's no longer being seen or heard. Okay, she looks like she's okay. There you are.
I'm back.
You just walked up a lot, so
yeah, the computer just decided not to cooperate, and now I think it's okay.
Right. Okay, so you moved to LA.
Yes. So yeah, the move to LA seemed to be a better decision, I guess, because of, you know, the sky's the limit. Being in Los Angeles, I mean, it's been such an adventure. Also, just, you know, being from Utah, it seemed a little closer. It is closer to home than maybe New York or Nashville. So
Yeah,
seemed like the better choice.
yeah.
So, yes.
So, you've been performing since you were a little girl, very young.
Yes.
So, do you remember how or why you first started performing?
I sort of remember. I know that my mom, when I was really young, about 3 years old, I started dancing and doing ballet and that whole thing. But I first started showing interest in it when I was in preschool. I would sort of, instead of playing with the other children, I would kind of go off into a corner and start like singing.
Yeah.
And so my mom and I had a conversation shortly after. Well, I mean, not shortly after. I was about 7 or so. I said, you know, I want to perform, and so my mom kind of looked into it and found a production company that I was a part of for 5 years, and then joined another company for 2. So I was performing all over the place, and that was really great to have that experience, and built a lot of confidence as a kid. And so, yeah, that's what kind of got me started.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
and your mother, she used to write songs on the piano, right, when you were growing up?
Yeah, you know, she did. She's a closeted musician, so she usually doesn't let people hear her play. But she's, you know, I'll say till the day I die that she's a better musician than I am, for the fact that she plays by ear. You know, she hasn't had a lesson in her life, and I've gone through lessons in the whole 9 yards. But she can just sit down and write, and it's like she's done it a million times before. So she's incredible, and she still kind of writes here and there, but yeah, she wrote lullabies as a kid and that kind of thing. So
Wow. So has she written anything for you to sing?
yeah, you know, I did an album for my dad. It was an album of covers that I did called, you know, Love You to Pluto and Back or something. It was just for my dad, for, you know, for a present. And sing on top of minus tracks, and then one of the tracks was her playing piano, and it was a song that she had written for her father.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Really,
We'll have to pull that up, you know, sometime, and kind of give people the opportunity to listen.
yeah, I would love to hear that. Yeah, absolutely. So is it true that as a child you would have like concerts on your trampoline?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I had a friend, a dear friend, that would come over, and we would sing on the trampoline, and sort of act like we were an American Idol, or, you know, an American Idol contestant or whatever. But, you know, it didn't extend. I thought about kind of inviting more people, but it didn't go further than maybe my mom or dad watching.
Yeah, but you know, it still kind of gave you practice for that, you know, getting on stage and figuring out that you wanted to do that. So
yeah, exactly.
So are you still involved with Musicians on Call?
You know, I haven't been as active as, you know, actively pursuing that organization. I recently started up a part-time, so it's been a little bit difficult, but I am still involved in a sense that, you know, I'm planning on getting back into it. I used to do, up until last month, I was doing, you know, once a month appearances where I would sing for the patients of City of Hope, the hospital in Duarte. So, so yeah, it's a really incredible organization.
Yeah, tell people a little bit about that, because I had never heard of it, and then when I started reading about you being involved in it, it sounds like a really, really good organization.
It is, and I've met some really incredible people and through it. So Musicians on Call is a nonprofit organization that pairs musicians up with different hospitals, in LA, they have a division, you know, they have like an LA chapter, they have I know they do a lot of it in Nashville, and I think that's actually where it got started. I could be wrong about that, but they do it across the US, and musicians like myself, even, you know, musicians that are on another level, like Taylor Swift and Gavin DeGraw and you know, Tori Kelly and all those guys, they and myself included will go to these hospitals and sing for the patients. And you basically just go around, you have a guide that takes you through, and you know, some people are in intense pain, some people are going through chemotherapy, and you know, so you have to, the guide helps so that you know which patients to visit. Sometimes you can't go all the way into the rooms, you know, because they're of the sickness and all that. So the guide really helps and basically goes around and asks each patient, you know, we've got a musician here, would you like to hear some music? Some people are really inspired by it, and some people, you know, pass on it and say no, you know, because you don't know what people are going through. So, but there's just so many incredible moments of I don't know, that I've experienced through that have made me realize why I do music. So it's a true blessing. So.
Well, there was one story that I think you had mentioned on Facebook about you had gone into a patient's room to sing and they sang to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I it's happened actually more often than you would expect. I go into a room and the patient says, "Oh, you know, I've been playing guitar for over 30 years and I played in this band." And so this particular patient, he was a really lovely person. I came in and he had his guitar, you know, laying on the ground, and I guess he hadn't touched it in weeks and hadn't played it in weeks or months or something like that. And he felt inspired. I came in and he brought out his guitar and he said, you know, do you mind if I play you a few songs? And I was really flattered by that he wanted to. So it was really a special moment, I think, for both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you become involved with this program?
I came to know the program through a musician, Sandro Cavazza. He is a Swedish singer-songwriter who was living in LA at the time. And he just got involved, found out through somebody and told me about it and told me that I thought that I would be a good fit for it. And then shortly after I was doing, you know, once a month performances.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sounds like a very worthwhile cause. I'm not sure that a lot of people have heard of it, but music is healing. So
it is. Yes, it is. And like I said, the experiences that I've experienced through that organization have just, you can't put words to it. It's really special. So
are you still a part of the band Lucy?
Yes, I am. We started that band actually about a year and a couple months ago. So that's a still ongoing project, and when I get back into LA, we're going to be working on more music and working on a tour in October, probably going to Nashville and hitting up a few places there. So.
Oh, very cool. So how did you guys form this band? It's an all-girl band, right?
Yep. It's an all-girl band. Well, I mean, it depends on how you look at it. So Lucy consists of two other women, Ariana and Ashley Maeda. And these girls were just two people that I had met through the music industry, living in LA. Both people that I admired greatly for their personality and for their talent. And I, you know, basically just said, hey, you know, I want to get a writing session together, you know, because we're all songwriters. And we actually had one other girl that we had invited in. She ended up not being able to make it. But that night we sang together in Ashley's apartment and kind of realized that we had something special and that our voices blended better than we could ever imagine. So we have we're such individuals, and we're so different from each other, and our voices are so different from each other, but yet somehow when it comes together, it's this sort of beautiful thing that happens. So we're really excited about that project because it's a lot of fun. And when we have shows, we typically play with a band, you know, bass, guitar, and drums, and those consist of guys. I've sort of been wanting to have it just be all girls, but you know, it's nice to have the male dynamic in there too sometimes. So it's been a lot of fun. We write our own original music and all that. So
Wow, I look forward to hearing more about Lucy then. It sounds like
Yes.
a neat project. So
Yes. It's been fun. Right now, we're kind of all apart. We're all kind of traveling. So right now I'm working on my own stuff, and then later on in the year we'll be doing more stuff with Lucy.
yeah. So how did you come up with the name Lucy?
Lucy, it was funny. We tossed around that night that we actually met up. We came up with the name. We tossed around some ideas, maybe the apartment that we met in, and then we talked about, just thinking about empowering women, and Lucille Ball came up in the conversation. I have a dog named Lucy that's just this beautiful creature I love so much, and we looked up what the meaning of Lucy was, and if you put an I at the end of it, it means light in Latin. And so it kind of all made sense. So when we put the puzzle pieces together, we kind of stuck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, this is not a serious question by any means, but I noticed when I was researching you that you met Matt LeBlanc. I had to ask you about that because I'm a huge fan of Friends. So
yes. Yeah, Matt LeBlanc. Yeah, it's funny. We have where I live in North Hollywood. There's a neighborhood pub called the Fox and Hounds, and it's been sort of a big part of my life. Every Sunday they have a Songwriter Sundays, which is just a songwriter night, and where 3 to 4 artists perform, and then at the end it's sort of this big kind of open mic kind of thing where you get people up on stage, and it's a lot of fun, and a lot of talent rolls through there. But one particular night, I think it was actually Saturday night where they do original bands. I stepped in, to say hello to some friends and just to check out what was happening. I live about 5 minutes away, and they said, over in the corner, and Joey's in the corner, and I said, Joey's in the corner. What are you guys talking about? Joey from Friends is sitting in the corner. And I'm like, are you serious? No, because he's a big guy. If you're are a big fan of Friends, you kind of is exciting. And so I looked over there, and sure enough, he's sitting there, and apparently his buddy was playing in the band that was performing that night. So, we kind of all, me and my friends kind of all peeked through, and it was actually Halloween nights, right? So we ended up, kind of there at the end of the night. So me and my friends peek over, and okay, great, he's just a person. Let's not, make it a huge deal, So we go outside, and some of my friends were taking a smoke, and he comes out and asks for a cigarette. And so we're all kind of introducing ourselves, and my friend Ariana, who's a big flirt, is flirting up a storm and thing. And so, but things got a little interesting. He got a little too, let's just say, he got a little too flirtatious with a friend of mine. So I kind of stood up, and we won't get any details because I don't. He had some few drinks, So in my opinion, he got a little too flirtatious, and so I kind of stepped in and said, just kind of gave him my opinion, and kind of gave him some crap, or nonetheless. And he kind of, he was a bigger brother, an older brother, took his hand and like put it on my face and was like, like shut your mouth or whatever. Like he was just kind of kidding around, but it turned into this whole thing. And he came inside, and it turned into something very interesting. It was very much like a older brother, younger sister kind of thing. And yeah, it was interesting. It led to the whole bar kind of noticing what was going on.
Oh wow!
There was kind of like a tickle war. It ended up being a little strange, but it was quite funny.
Well, say y'all like, how you doing? And
yeah, exactly. So, and then we ended up, joking around, and Joey, if you're a Friends fan, he doesn't like to share food. So
right.
We ended up capturing a picture of me, drinking his beer, which was just kind of a little funny thing of that. So
well, that sounds like a very interesting experience.
It was very interesting nonetheless, and I think it would have been, celebrity or not, it was still, with the complete having a tickling war, and yeah, so it was funny.
Great story.
Oh,
so I think that you're planning to sing for us before we go.
Yes, yes.
Are you ready?
Love that. Yes, yes. I guess, you know, I hadn't really, I didn't really know I was going to be singing, so I'm trying to think of what I would be singing. Do you have any suggestions, or I guess
I don't really have a preference. It's whatever you feel like singing today is fine.
okay. Let's do yeah, let's do a song called "Disguise." It's actually the first track of the EP off of Right of Life, and let me know if you can hear me. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear the guitar?
Everything sounds good.
Okay, great. I'm gonna actually scoot back a little bit so
Okay.
that I don't blow the speakers out on everybody's.
Right.
So, okay. Let me move this down here.
There you go. That's good.
All right. There's a secret that I hide. Have you ever wondered why I love many people take my side, even though I tend to lie. Lie. I to you, even though I feel as though I never will. And I take you this crime of mine. I'm in disguise. There's a secret that I hide. Have you ever wondered why I'm lost? Connect the dots with the lines. Pretend to be okay inside, but I'm not. I lie to you, even though I feel as though I never will. And I take you this way of mine. I'm in disguise. Even though I feel it's though I never will. And I take you this way of mine. I tell you, even though I feel it's though I never will. And I take you this way of mine. I'm in disguise.
Yeah. Beautiful voice.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, Paula.
Well, thank you for coming on and for playing and everything for us. So is there anything that you would like to add before we go? Do you have any upcoming gigs you want to plug, or?
You know, I'm going to be back in LA starting in July, and so planning for gigs and all that. I mean, I do gigs every month, but as far as promotional gigs, Nothing is set in the books quite yet. We just ended the tour that I did throughout Colorado and Wyoming and Utah. But starting in July, if you just keep up on my social media, I'll keep people updated. You can go to facebook.com/McKail Seely. That's McKailSeely. You'll be able to find all the updates on my performances there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and I'll put all of that up on the info for this video. Okay. And you have the Rod of Life album is available on iTunes and where else?
Spotify, Amazon. You can find it on CD Baby. You can listen to it on Spotify and SoundCloud. So yeah, any of those places you can listen to the music and buy and all that. So
yeah. Okay. Well, people can also visit your website, McKailSeely.wix.com.
Yeah, if you go to actually just McKailSeely.com, it'll take you right.
Come up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, McKailSeely.com. Okay, McKail Seely. Thank you so much for coming on today and for playing your song and sharing your talent with us. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you can come back and maybe come back at some point and bring Lucy with you.
Yeah, so the girls, that would be a lot of fun. Next time we have something out, we'll definitely contact you. Would love that.
Yes, please do. I would love that. So
all right, Paula.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. Bye.